Hello, and welcome back to Vintage Story on our very server on the Crystal Seas. And I had finally gotten some of our glass done, put into panes here. Figured might as well start working on some more details for the inside of the house. We got glass planes, and when you chisel it, chisel on there, it goes all nice and clear. So it's still there, it's slightly milky-ish kind of color, but like very transparent till. Very hard to figure out where exactly this is. Okay, so this half pane actually did go into a half pane. Usually sometimes it's a whole block. This time did not happen. So let's try to navigate our sides here. We need to dig out a layer or so. We want to make these like nice little thin planes, and we're going to use the kapok planks for our framing. These corners will be a little difficult here. Get a frame for the outside started. Get ourselves boosted up a little bit and get that corner in, which is always the tricky part of getting that in. Getting down far enough so that we can get our pane in. And then we get to the second window over here. And you have to angle yourself in such a way so that you're on the block and not the neighboring block. Boost it up so we can get a bit of edging done there. And I want to try to do something a little different, a little diagonal something here. Maybe do like a big old crisscross kind of pattern or something. I don't want to take up too much of the window space, so we'll see how this goes. That does take up a meet in the middle. Problem I'm thinking of is if we're gonna make this a 2x2 window, perhaps we're gonna get the pattern up here. Get our second set of window panes, half slabs put in. Chisel that down. I don't know if we have to rotate it, but get our blocks in the kapok plank boards. Don't need that. We do need, however, the pantograph. It will let us copy things much easier. I think I'll just rotate it anyhow. It's going to be copied and pasted over in such a way. So I don't know if the pantograph has a function that I'm looking for. They have a bunch of different like copies and pastes, and you can copy with materials, without the materials. They can make doors and such. You have it in an opened and a closed state. And yeah, I don't want to like just do that. Copy it and paste it. That's not a problem. I was hoping there was like a mirrored reflection going up and down. That's not quite mirrored kind of thing I was looking for. And yeah, this is, I don't think this will work, however, which is unfortunate. That will just let you rotate your thing around. This will flip it on the same axis, but I'm looking for flipping up and down, not left and right. So I'm going to have to redo the whole thing. So I figured out, I think going with a single pane looking type of place would be better. So I kept the edge around the sides. That was nice to have that there. And did the pane in the middle. So we got a 2x3 essentially. I had to do little single squares right in the middle to make it line up nicely. Closed. And then the inside of it too. So the window is inset here. And then I think I will make something similar into these other larger window places. So that's where the pantograph will be nicely useful here. And the look from it outside, I think it will have enough depth on it to be interesting. I could always do something a little around it, you know, like maybe an extra windowsill or window casing or engraving. We'll see. The next step was to get some of these roofs done here. I'd started on the blacksmith, but I needed to get the roof kind of going between the walkway of the blacksmith and the house. And it is laid out a little bit weirder than it was in my head. So I had to just kind of go with like a U shape kind of down there. Otherwise it's going to be like really, really tall peak, or I'd have to make something flat on top. So that's what I went with. We don't have like full block shingles for the roof, so slanted is the way to go. And I might need to do a little bit more around with these pillars. I'm going to fix that gate entrance. But something will make it a little bit more interesting down here. Need another block up there, but maybe a little archways or something. Maybe expand the walkway a little bit more. So we'll get some ladders so we can get up here to the top. And the next thing I was working was some edging, kind of like a separating first floor from second floor. I mean, this was all kind of Mediterranean-esque inspired, so a lot of them had this kind of trim that went in between the two floors. And we need that pantograph again. Go downstairs and come back up. Another good reason to use ladders. Don't have to pillar back up. We can copy and paste this all along here. And so it's like thin enough that it's not like really bulky looking. I'm hoping that will work out well enough for detail without being too much. Kind of break up the up and down patterns of the boards. And we'll stick in a roof up here, I think. We need a little covering, which means that window up there might change a little. And a little bit more windows up on each side will probably make a big difference. But I figured I would get some of the roof and all that stuff done first before trying to figure out exactly where all the windows were going to go. Make it a little easier so I don't have to like place it and replace it and all that kind of stuff. I'll have to continue with the trim around the sides. And I got another window still yet to finish in here in the kitchen. So that'll come over on the side and break that bit up. And then we got the couple windows in the back as well. And so we'll need to finish also the walls on the upstairs as well as some trims. Maybe even like a windowsill out here might well. We do have some more debarked bald cypress logs, so let's try that out. Those are just excess logs. We still have our pantograph and copied, and hopefully this will be the correct layout. Turn that stuff around. There we go. So it's thin. It's in the right position. It's on the very top of the block. I guess, yeah, because the little leafy bits on top of the bushes are just kind of like extra. Ah, that fits just right in there. The bush leaves don't go and interact with that. I think that will work well to have some windowsills here on the end. Alright, got that roof put in. All the other roofs, and I was able to then put in where I wanted to have windows. And I had also gone exploring down below, south of here. Found some nice caves where I got some copper and sphalerite, which will help us be able to do lanterns, so we can light up this place. Make it a little bit more safe. Alright, we got our garden stuff moved over here. Some bees, because, well, we're going to need those lanterns and you need to have the candles. Got our little pit started there. All of our smithing stuff has been moved over. Our anvils and forges and such. And I started working on the way out to the trader over there. And still we'll have to bring in some extra little blocks. Got the secondary windows, a little smaller ones done. The large ones copied and pasted. Got the similar little archway on the inside and the outside of the door. Figured you might as well keep that theme going here. So we got big windows that match there in the front. Close our door there. Got our kitchen one done. So that is nice. The little small ones are extra. And of course up to the attic and a bunch of windows up here. And so I got the balcony kind of coming out to the top here. It's a really thin layer of boards there. Decided to do something kind of different with the ceiling part there. But I wanted to keep these big windows because, well, they're big and you can still look out. The ones over the roof are fine, you know. They don't need to be anything great, but it'll let in the light. And up here we got the attic. I'm thinking about maybe sticking in a few like dormer windows or something. I'll have to see about that. And there we go. Out on our little porch. Easy access to get off the roof and the second floor. I had gotten a bit of that chiseled walkway thing out here, but get a good idea out back here of the ridgeline, the lines on the side, the different windows and stuff. I think it's added enough interest here. We got the window sills down below. I think it'd be too much if I try to put the one up above it. So might just stick with that. And of course this back stepway needs to get taken care of. And then we'll extend out the wall all the way down to where the ship is being made area and get some docks for the boat and stuff. And then we have a little bit more to finish outside with the beach and the wall coming, of course, coming all the way down here. And then the rest of our bits of forest and garden and whatnot. We'll get more into that next time. Thanks for watching, and see you later.